To play this DeSantis clip here. Curious about your womanly perspective on this, Francesca, because this is like, a way that I guess conservatives like to conceive of their marriages, right? As being traditional, and the woman doing wifely duties, and the man doing the manly duties, like shitting the bed on the campaign trail, that kind of thing. This is Ron DeSantis with his wife, and she here speaks about when she was undergoing some sort of medical treatment. She had cancer, okay? This is how Ron supported her. This seems incredibly basic to me, but curious what your take is on this level of, giving that he gave to his wife going through cancer.
That comes upon your family, and so I had to rely on him in a really big way. There were times when I was going through 6 rounds of chemotherapy, I was going through 6 weeks of radiation and 3 surgeries, and I couldn't get up. Couldn't do very many things. I couldn't pick up my 3-year-old when they wanted me to hold them, and I had to tell them a little bit of a fib that mommy's arm hurts and I have to go back to the hospital because it's about my arm, and it wasn't about the arm. And to this day, they have no idea what I've been through.
Well,
and I'll tell them
to have to tell your
they don't know. I've never told my kids about the cancer battle because they don't think that they're old enough to really understand what that means, and so at some point we will tell them. But you asked the question about what kind of a dad he is. When you're going through opportunities where you can barely scrape yourself off the bathroom floor because you're sick and your children are calling for you and you physically cannot get to them, but you have somebody who was not only running the state of Florida and was there for the people of his state, he was there for me. And he was there to go pick up my kids when I couldn't. And he did it with humility, and he did it with love.
Weird.
And I'll tell you what,
I'll pick
can't
him
ask
up.
for a better husband than that.
Yeah,
How does it feel? How does it feel to hear her say that? I mean,
well, look, that's, in sickness and in health, that's what you sign up for. I mean, and so she's not only my wife, she's my best friend, and she's the person that I would want. I've always dreamed to be the mother of my children, and so, this is just what you do. I mean,
What a sacrifice. What a sacrifice that he made.
In Florida, on the way home from work, I got him.
I know, I was the governor, but I still picked up the kids.
In
when
Florida,
you were
I picked up my children in Florida.
Yeah, but back to woke Disney. You see, here's the thing. Ariel was never meant to be black, and
we're seeing Ariel as a trans, and she's a mermaid.
Yeah, it's very radical politics under the sea. There's a transgender agenda under the sea. That's actually part of the song when they sing it. Fish can, in fact, change genders, and I think we need to talk more about that. But she said, my kids. Now, from what I just, sleuthed on Wikipedia, I was like, wait, does she have kids from another marriage? Or she's like, my kids? Like, what's going on? No.
The favor would make a little more sense.
They're their kids. Also, favor, the way you said, like.
I mean, I said that, but yeah.
Right, they're your kids. So anyway, he picked up the kids. And he's just going, well, anyway, that's what I signed up for. And here's what I watched this clip and I'm like, yo, that's the face of someone. Look, I don't know for sure, but that's the face of someone who knows deep down they're kind of a POS and they definitely cheated on her. Like, I'm just saying, because if you're really a great dad, if you're like a great dad and you were there for, you're like, I love this woman and she was so strong and she battled cancer and she got through it and our kid, all that stuff. Instead, you're like, oh God, don't tell her about the time you partied with Matt Gaetz. And,
the thing I see though, Francesca, is like the fact that he seems uncomfortable with her getting the opportunity to speak in this way. He doesn't like that.
She's I will say, I watched I unfortunately watched 15 out of the 20 minutes of this interview. She is way better at politicking than he is.
Apparently she's the one who's been the Lady Macbeth right behind the scenes.
She's very well spoken. She's very well spoken. And when he talks, I'm like, wait, it almost seems like she is the one running for president, and he's like sort
She
of
should
her,
just
like,
run.
her lackey.
She can't
yeah.
because she needs to be with the kids.
right,
So that's what women do, and only in extreme circumstances, when they're getting chemotherapy and radiation, do they not do their wifely duties. And it's really big of Ron to have acted a little bit like a woman, and spend time with the kids. That's for women. That's
I mean,
for the
did I
wives.
stop by a high school kegger a little bit on the way to and from?
That's
dropping
when he
kids
spends
off?
time
Yeah.
with children.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's usually the context.
Can we that was a NBC News reporter who asked that question?
Mm-hmm.
She was the one, by the way, who did the Fetterman interview, and she was like, he was extremely cognitively impaired.
Interesting,
that's the
because
one?
like this is like journalism for like adult babies. Like why?
I think that was on the Today
A relevant
Show.
question is, you were first lady. Who paid for that cancer insurance? And do you think like maybe we should extend that? Like cancer is horrible. To use it as a propaganda device to get fucking Ron DeSantis elected is despicable to me. And like to be like, oh yeah, he was there to pick up the kids from soccer practice. I'm sorry, that we are so far removed from anything relevant to people's lives.
Yeah.
Like but it's just like it's emotional. So like NBC News, like that should have been Newsmax. What are we doing?
Well, that's a daytime. I think it was aired on the Today Show, right?
The preview was aired on the Today Show, but that specifically, the longer interview was like It was like
a nightly
It was
news
the NBC
segment?
News special aired.
Yeah.
Like that segment as well as the DeSantis one-on-one interview were both like on Lester Holt's.
Get to know the
news slot-
candidates
news slot,
are
nightly news slot.
horrible pieces
They're
of
terrible.
journalism.
Yeah, they're
I
terrible.
don't care. Let's talk about how Ron DeSantis is overseeing this deep discrimination against gay and trans kids in the state. Let's talk about his past with allowing for torture in front of his face, as
Who
he's
told
supposed
you
to be
that?
the advocate
Or
for
wanting to cut Medicaid
Yeah.
or Medicare,
Yeah.
right? And both of those programs. But I think that's such a great pivot of like, yeah, how did you survive that? What was it like? What was the experience in and out of the hospital? Were the bills piling up?
How do you
all
feel?
of that.
Does it make you empathize with like your constituents who write into the governor's office saying, "Hey, I'm going broke because I got cancer"?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
But it also proves that they're trying so hard to make Ron DeSantis a formidable, a couth Republican opponent, and they can't. And every time he's like offered like, hey, here's a child with an ice cream cone, be normal, dude. He's just like, well, I ain't so much sugar, and they're like, oh God.
Yeah, Bradley's
do
going
it.
to pull up the latest retail